Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Food for Thought. Do you feel stressed, foggy, fearful? Do you find your stomach's in a knot and you're spaced out and you're just on that hamster wheel of fearful thoughts? If any of this is true to you, then this next 15 minutes is going to be good. Hi, I'm Miss Chrissy D with the PNK Files, preparing you for when life happens. And this is Darlene Turner with VictimToVictory, and together we're thePerspective.
Hi, everyone. Well, last week we talked about the gallbladder and the liver, which was about anger, processing our emotions, not letting them get to the point of frustration and being able to release them. So this week, it's just taking it past that and into the digestion of the stomach and the spleen. So together, they make the earth element, which is yellow, and the sound is singing. And if we think of earth, it gives us all our nutrients. It keeps us grounded. And when we're grounded, we're able to actually pivot into change without losing our balance and our stability. So this is a really important 2 meridians to connect to. So let's break it down into the stomach meridian. And the stomach meridian is from 7 to 9 o'clock. And when there's an imbalance, and I know Michael's going to bring up our picture so everybody can kind of see where the stomach meridian is. And maybe what I'll do is we'll just show the stomach meridian. So you can see how it kind of comes up along the cheek and it does a little loop across the forehead and then goes straight down through the throat, over to the collarbone, and then drops down through the stomach, and then across into that junction where we sit a lot. And in that sitting, the energy can get pinched and blocked there as well. So this can cause a block to the flow of the lymphatic down the legs and circulation, and then it goes out the toe. So this one is, I just want to talk while we're on that picture of it, how when we're telling you to tap at the EFT tapping, how we're actually tapping on this one to reset the emotions. So with the stomach, we think about digestion, and if there's an imbalance in there, a lot of times we'll have bloating, we'll have maybe ulcers, a knot in your stomach, eating disorders. All these things happen here in the stomach meridian. And then if we go into, this is where the emotions are processed. It's a direct line. If we're afraid, the first thing that happens is like the pit of our stomach drops out. And it could be good emotions. It could be butterflies in our stomach of excitement. It doesn't always have to be bad, right? And then if we go into mentally, this is where we get foggy thinking, a feeling of disconnect, hard concentrating. All these things are also brought in here at the stomach meridian. And the stomach is also a direct line into our senses. So have you ever smelt something and you just felt sick to your stomach?
Oh, yes. You know what? Olfactory. And I remember reading about this. And I was actually in a relationship once, and I didn't like the smell that that person had. And it never went away. It did upset my stomach. And interestingly enough, I didn't listen to it, and the relationship did not go well. So
Yes.
it's interesting how all of that is connected.
Very true, very true. And even visual, sometimes if we see something, we just have to see it and it'll make us sick or terrified or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So let's bring up the spleen meridian now so that we can get a picture of all of these two meridians. And this one, the energy flows up from the foot. So it's starting at that second toe and going up. And you can see it runs along the side of the shin, up the side of the knee, up the front inner thigh, and also it runs through that junction in the pelvic where the leg meets the hip, up kind of through the edge of our stomach, and it ends right at the spleen. So it goes a little bit up into the base of the armpit and then goes down into the spleen. This is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is its main time. And physically, this could show up as not being able to deliver the nutrients to the body. So this could be low energy, this could be low circulation, this could be water retention, cold feet, cold hands. That's what this looks like if there's a block physically in this. And mentally, if there's a block, then it's like we have a hard time concentrating, which is similar to the stomach, but this one is actually attached to the memory and being able to store memories properly and being able to process our experiences and store them away so that if we need to get them, we're able to access them in a healthy way. And we can get stuck in PTSD when the experience hasn't been able to process properly and cause total body dysfunction in our health.
Yeah, I see that at work all the time. I deal with a lot of people with PTSD, huge stresses, and I see their bodies falling apart. It's amazing how connected they are. They show up and they're just in rough shape, and whatever they're going through, you actually see it physically on their bodies.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really important because I want to just bring in like a little bit more around this. So the spleen actually is sort of the storage for the blood. And I was reading an example about it this morning, and it was about it's the delivery trucks. If you think of it as all these restaurants and stores, and this is the truck delivery of the supply of the bread per se to the body. And if one of those trucks break down, then all the way down the line, it's not going to get the nutrients. So you are going to have low energy. You're going to have weak muscles and just not feel strong. So that's the really importance of this one.
Because we all grew up thinking that the spleen wasn't important. How many times have we heard that from the medical community? Oh, we have to remove the spleen. It's okay. It's not needed. But it sounds like it's really important.
It is. And just to talk about that for a minute, the body is so miraculous and wonderful that, yeah, technically we can live without it, but it's just because everything else is adapting to the loss of that. And energetically, even though physically the organ is not there, the energetic of it is still there and working, in its way, right? So it's pretty interesting and miraculous how our body is.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's think about now if we're stuck in worry and fear, and it can end up just making us sick to our stomach. And we're on that hamster wheel of just not being able to process the experience and learning to discern what is valid, what is actually ours and what is others. And we had a previous show, we talked about this as an empath. Sometimes we get caught up in other people's emotions and their drama and their story. And then it becomes a big chunk of what we're thinking about, what we're processing. And we're powerful creators, and what we think and we believe, it starts to become true within our own lives, and we get stuck in the muck too.
And we can't help anybody if we're like that. when we step into other people's stories and we're triggered by it, it's almost like we're getting down in the well, down in the hole with them. And then we're not in an arm's length place to be able to think clearly and help them. And it's a hard line to draw.
Yes, it's so true. You know, especially if it's our loved ones or our family members. And you know, I wanted to talk about this because, you know, sometimes, and I know from my own experience with my daughters, is being able to step back and let them have their experience, even though it's hard to watch them go through stuff sometimes, and we think we know a lot better. Well, if you just do this, this, and this, you won't have this problem or whatever. And do you remember at 25 years old, did we actually listen to our parents? Not so much.
No. It's a hard thing to do. It's something people have to learn themselves. So the best thing we can do is draw that line, not let that trigger become ours, so that we can actually be helpful.
Exactly. And if we actually are triggered with whatever our children or our friends or other people are going through, and we get caught up in that, it's being able to step back, find our own balance again, and have a higher perspective or a higher look at what's going on. Why is this triggering us? Because there's actually something within you that still needs to be healed or looked at or, processed and experienced. So this is pretty huge. And I just wanted to bring in here the habit and the unconscious thinking that goes on. Sometimes it's like you always talk about, Chris, it's that old file system where it fits. And so we just get stuck back in that loop again, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's our comfort zone.
Exactly. And
it's fearful to let it go, to get rid of that file. It's why we stay in it, is because that's what we know. If we get rid of that and we want to bring something else in, we don't know. So we have to get out of the fear and trust.
Yes. And
easier said than done.
Reprogram our brain, become masters of our mind. And I wanted to just bring this in because Michael and I are running a program for a month, starting actually tonight, and it's 64 clearing statements at clear everything from old programs and old patterns to things that you don't even know may be affecting how you're thinking, how you're showing up, how maybe you're stuck in fear and anxiety, known and unknown. And it's a thorough sweep of all things. And if you are interested, please, at the end, we have a little video to share. But it's really mastering your mind and mastering your unconscious mind and your conscious, and where are your thoughts going? This is hugely important to creating a happy life.
And it makes you more authentic to yourself. And the more authentic we are in ourselves, the better leaders we're going to be for other people.
Definitely. Owning our stuff, right? And looking at it instead of putting the blame or feeling like we're a victim to everything. It's like, no, this is who I am and what I want in my life.
Yeah.
You ready for some tips?
Absolutely. So the first one, healthy thoughts, healthy food. One of the things that I've done is I've taken my blender to work, because we all know when we're at work, we're tired, we're stressful, and then we might go and eat something that makes us feel even worse. So when it's lunchtime, I pull my blender out and I put my spinach and my berries and my flaxseed and my protein powder in. And it is amazing how much better I feel. And it's just getting into the habit. It's breaking the habit of going and grabbing something unhealthy for lunch because you might not have time, to spending the 2 minutes and putting something good in.
Definitely. And I know from my own experience, sometimes if I'm running around and rushing, then I'm hungry and I just grab something that isn't healthy just to put in a body as for fuel. And it's possibly sugar, which is a temporary fuel system for the body.
And you feel crappy after.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. We want to have that healthy feeling and energized our body. So tip 2 is mindful when we're working with others or assisting others through their experience, not to get caught down at the bottom of the well and stuck in the muck with them, but being able to maintain that level of and hold space for them to actually come out of that, and we're not affected by it. And if we are, then stepping back and having a look at our own stuff. And
Yes.
go back to our empath show. It was close to the beginning of our shows, and there we really dive into what it means to be an empath and to have control of our energy field, which is part of what we're talking about in our mastermind program. So tip 3 is,
I just want to add there, it's when we want to help people, we want to draw that line, if you're an empath, of we want to come from a functional place, not an emotional place that's caught up in everything.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Yeah. We just have so much information here we want to share today. We're trying to fit it in our 15 minutes. All right. So tip 3 is Michael's bringing up the stomach acupressure points. And this is for if you have bloating, indigestion, and possibly if you're not even able to digest a system, an experience, or you're having ulcers. So these are pressure points. And like we said with the meridians, they're all connected. They're all interwoven through. So the first one is the large intestine. So this is to support the stomach ache, is hitting it. As you can see on that picture, it's like the outside of your elbow there. So you would just find that spot and then just put some pressure there and hold it for maybe a minute or so, just till you can kind of feel like once you find that sore spot, it's like, and then just letting it relax and go. The inside. And then, Michael says it's the inside, not the outside. So there we go. And then number 2 is the spleen, which is, I can't show you my foot, but it's down on the inside, just above your ankle. A third spot is our stomach, so that you can see on the picture there, the points to press on there. So you would press and hold them till you feel a release. And then the 4th is the pericardium, which is in the wrist here. So you're doing each one of these in this sequence. And then the 5th one is the urinary bladder spots, and that you would reach around behind in your back and just hold those 2 spots till you feel a release. And please comment in the bottom and let us know how you did, if it worked for you, if you had relief. We love hearing from all of you.
I find sometimes when I'm doing these points, and we've talked about this, you're like, well, is this sore? And I'm like, nope, I'm fine. But then I'll actually push it, and it's like, oh, yep, it is sore. I was so busy functioning that I didn't even realize. So don't forget, everybody, to sign up for the mastermind clearing, which there will be a link below and a video after. It's going to be awesome. And thanks, everybody, for joining us today and every Sunday for the new perspective on trauma, abuse, chronic pain, and the steps to a healthy and thriving life. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Hi there, I'm Michael Turner, and this is my lovely wife,
Darlene Turner.
And together, we're bringing you a mastermind surrounding the deep clearing protocol. And Darlene's going to share a lot more with us about that.
Well, just the mastermind itself is a great name, because this is what it's about, being the master of your mind and your own energy field. And if you find that you're stuck in fear, overwhelm, maybe you're feeling like your energy field isn't actually your own, that there could be some interferences in that. Also, health issues come in here. So we found it really important to bring forward the 64 clearing statements that clear everything from known to unknown, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and your superconscious mind, being able to get in touch with that.
Mm-hmm. I found it very powerful. I had actually been running the deep clearing protocol since November of last year, up until February. I did three, almost 4 months of it. And what I found the most interesting about it is I'm not scared of anything anymore. I used to have a lot of fear and anxiety on a daily basis, and the deep clearing protocols has helped me overcome all of those.
And for myself, really standing strong in my I am presence, and knowing that I'm so much more than just this physical body and this physical life. Why we did this is because so many people are in overwhelm, are in fear. And when we're in that state, it's really difficult sometimes to really stick to this program and do it by yourself. So we wanted to bring it forth as a group, to have that group extra powerful energy, as well as having us help guide you through, showing up every day for the first 7 days to really get a good foundation into this clearing. And then we slowly wean you out of some of the clearing statements that I've already cleared and keep you in the ones that have. So you'll be having us as coaches through this, and knowing that, you know what, this is going to change your life. This is going to change how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world, and really start stepping into your power. Because as my shirt says, empowered, I've done this, I know it.
Mine says smile. It's underneath this one. But it's really good to get together as a group, because not only are you committing to yourself, but you're committing to the group members to show up for yourself. And this is going to ensure your success going forward.
So also included in this course, this is Tyson Bannigan, the creator of the 64 statements, and it's been in the creation for, I think, many, many years. You'll get a half an hour with him as well. So tell us about this.
Yeah, so the half an hour is to look at how are you doing, how did you like the course, and where are you in your energy field? Have you closed off your energy, or standing in your truth, taking back your personal power, or is there some things that we need to do some deeper work, like some core fractures or toxic emotions? Maybe there's some trauma you had, near-death experience, sexual abuse, misunderstandings with your parents. Anything between the age of 1 and 7 is mostly where trapped emotions are. So we'll take a look at that and see if we need to do any deeper work. And also see if you qualify for entry into the Academy to take some advanced courses on dowsing and energy healing, including certification courses, or the brand new course, which is Empath's Mastermind, which is helping you take back your personal power and how to get back into the zone once you get kicked out. So it's a 3-month course. I'm looking forward to people joining me on that. So we'll just see if that's something that you'd like to do, part of that half an hour session with me.
Well, that's great. So if you want to join ours, there will be the link below. It's, like I said, a full month of support and having that coaching through it to keep committed and saying yes to you.
Yeah, just to let you know that the Deep Clearing program is actually month 1 of a 3-month program. So you're already 1/3 of the way through. So we'll see if you qualify for the other 2 months.
See you there.
Yeah.